Japan is actually opening up the borders again on October. That's a big news, I think, for everyone who loves Japan just in general and is able to visit it again without actually taking care of these all restrictions like the COVID pass, where you have to go on quarantine, or even you have to struggle to get the visa. And beginning that year in June, you also were only able to get to Japan when you had like a tour guide all planned out. But for everyone who loves to go just travel around on your own, that's the best thing. I think also for me that the borders are opening for Japan actually after, let's say, almost 2.5 years. So that's actually quite big news. That's not the only big thing that happened in the last week. I think what I recently heard is that as well. What you noticed is probably a new anime come out called Cyberpunk. It's actually a really good anime, and it's of course oriented on the game Cyberpunk 2077, where it makes the story and the depth of the characters a lot more interesting, I would say. Without going more in detail and without spoiling everything about the let's say series, just check it out. I would actually recommend it. I will point out, let's say, 8 of 10 of numbers. I would recommend that movie series, sorry, and yeah, just check it out. So welcome back to Toqir Space, with starting those two kind of topics that were really important and kind of like a highlight for me the last week. And I was also reading the comments. I had actually just one comment on my last video where the comment was just one, but I was really appreciating it. Where I got the feedback and a question, of course, about my habits, about the things I recommended or displayed to you on the last video. The question is also directed to me, how I'm currently doing with those habits, what are the benefits, what are things that I'm maybe struggling, or as well, how I'm currently living with those habits. So this video is actually kind of like a feedback from the last video. So I'm quite trying to be on point with the habit, to do everything on time, let's say, waking up at the same time, doing the things. Sometimes, of course, there are some days where you sleep too long, or you sometimes have to skip a habit because of work or something else came in between. But whenever you're able to catch up again after, let's say, 2 days, I think that's totally fine for it. For me, the new habits are really reinventing myself. The new habits for me are really reinventing for me. It kind of like makes me more productive in a way, and makes me more to push myself to the limit, where I can achieve a lot more things whenever I wake up. For example, the habit waking up much earlier. I'm able to do a lot more things done over the day. And of course, whoever knows that when you wake up in early morning, you kind of like are more productive and more focused. And the best thing is, of course, everyone is sleeping around you. The town is sleeping, the city is sleeping, so you can just wake up and walk, go out, think about all the ideas you have. And of course, that's one of the things that I actually like, waking up early in the morning. But not only those habits, I think combined with every kind of habits that I have, that makes it a lot more, I think, easier to achieve your goals. Let's say you're meditating at the same time, you are waking up at the same time, you are very grateful what we have, and of course you don't drink a lot of coffee, or the best case is you drink no coffee at all, or let's say caffeine. whatever it is, what you take. Um, those things are helping a lot to build up a level of, let's say, on a surface, let's say a basic level of power, or let's say an energy you have inside you that will keep pushing you to the right direction. Um, for me right now, it's a really good experience. I can actually give you that current feedback about that, and very thankful for the comment and for the question as well. So the last point I actually wanted to share with you is that I already mentioned in the previous videos I had about learning a new language. Is actually, I'm currently using the Tandem app for learning Japanese. That means I can just contact anyone around who is interested in learning. Let's say he's interested in learning German, I'm interested in learning Japanese, so we can share. We can spend some time. We can call, whatever. So I currently have actually, let's say, 4 people, quite a lot, where I have in a week 2 people where I can talk to, or on a weekend I have 1 or 2 people where I can just practice my Japanese. And I think that's a really unique way to at first learn new things, express yourself in Japanese, and of course at the same time learning by, let's say, doing. And I'm always impressed whenever I talk to a special guy. He just learned 1 year German, but he probably told me that he spent almost like every day 4 hours, around 4 or 5 hours learning. That's quite a lot of time when you put it in. I actually didn't put that much time in learning Japanese. Maximum, I think, around 1 hour. That's currently it. But I want to push that limit as well when I have the goal to at least be able to speak fluently next year, October. So I will be happy to share with you my progress. Kind of like I have an idea of sharing every day, kind of like a Japanese episode of my learning path. It's kind of like an experimental way of trying to record it, and even try to get even feedback from some Japanese people. That would be really interesting. Otherwise, I think it's just for myself and maybe whoever wants to follow it. Good point to see how my development is actually speaking Japanese. So I will try out the next video to introduce myself in Japanese on a basic level, and from then on I will try to improve, and hopefully until next year, that's my goal, next year in October, I will be able to speak some Japanese. So my question for this video is actually, are you learning are you learning Japanese, or are you learning another language? Are you also excited about the border opening for Japan like me? Are you interested going to Japan one day? Is it something on your list, or is it something you want to do maybe probably let's say a couple of years later, when it's more, let's say, appealing for you, whenever the situation you are in currently, as currently everyone is facing through outside, of course. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for sharing.